10 years ago, me and my dad built a project that changed everything. It was a project that got me into engineering and also set the course for the person I am today. But it is falling apart and we have to repair it. And I'm talking about the Nano hydro power station. Hello, my name is Asker and this is probably the coolest project I'm going to be working on this channel so far. Because this is not just a regular project. This was the first big engineering project I did with my dad. And this video is about the backstory of the Nano hydro power station and also the planning for the refurbishment. So back in March 2015, when I was 10 years old, I got inspired by my dad's homemade hydropower station. I remember my fascination of the water making its way from the dam to the turbine. That again rotated the generator to produce electricity, and also all of the electrical systems that controlled the flow of the water to the turbine, and also controlled all the sensors that made sure that everything was working as it should. All of these systems played a role of producing electricity and also shut down the power station in the case of a problem. Dad's hydro power station is capable of producing around 2 kilowatts, and since the whole thing is homemade, I think that's absolutely insane. Being inspired by my dad as a 10-year-old led me to wanting to build my own hydro power station. Our goal was very simple. It was to produce enough electricity to power 2 LEDs. Which isn't a lot of power, but it is still self-generated power. We began building the turbine out of some waterproof plywood, and the turbine axle, which was originally a back axle from an old car, which was perfect because we could mount the turbine where the car wheel was supposed to be. So Dad put some ball bearings on the axle and mounted it on a piece of plywood. After we finished the turbine and the axle, we had to get some pipes so we could transport the water from the dam to the turbine. Fortunately, Dad had some 110mm PE pipes laying around, but they weren't much longer than 4 to 5 meters, and we needed around 10 meters. Dad already knew how to weld PE pipes from the time when he built his own water power station. And the way you weld the polyethylene pipes, it is to basically melt them together. So what Dad did when he built his own water power station, he took 2 stovetops and a handle and put them together so we could hold the stovetop device between the pipes, melt the both sides and clamp them together afterwards. And that device, I was and still am so amazed of the way he just built his own equipment to build the things he needs. So we got to weld the PA pipes to get around 10 meters, but then we needed a generator and a gear to transfer the mechanical power, and a bicycle wheel that we put on the other end of the turbine axle, which we put a rubber strap between the bicycle wheel and a smaller wheel on the generator axle, giving it more speed. At full power, the generator was producing around 12 volts that were connected after a 7806 voltage regulator, so we always had stable voltage going to the LEDs. Even though the electricity from my childhood project didn't produce that much, the project still made a lasting impression of you can bring your imagination to reality, and it also gave me a memory for life. So I'm really grateful for my dad helping me build that project. After I finished the project, it was sort of my responsibility to maintain the hydro power station, but being a kid and always caught up with distractions like the iPad or TV and stuff like that, I didn't really take care of it. Therefore, over the years, it degraded and stopped working, unfortunately. That's the reason for this video. I want to refurbish the 10-year-old project and make it run like it used to. This project has so much history, and since then, a lot have changed. Example, I have gotten much better at mechanical and electrical engineering. Therefore, we are not just going to refurbish the power station, we're also going to improve it. But we need a plan for what new systems and functions we want to implement to the refurbished power station. This time we're going to store the electricity we produce in batteries instead of powering 2 white LEDs. We're going to power 15 light bulbs that we're going to install in a tree close to the generator, and that's basically what we're going to power. But then what if we have a summer with almost no rain and no water to the generator to produce electricity? Well, that's why I want to install some light indicators that tells us the status of the power station. I'm thinking green for production, yellow for no water in the dam, and red for a problem or low battery voltage. Maybe we could add a blue light indicator or something. Let me know down in the comment section what you want the blue light indicator to be. Then we have the generator housing. The structural design is going to be pretty much the same, but I do want to change the colors. We could also add some cool features to the power station since we have battery power to use. I'm thinking about a function that we could push a button and the generator housing opens automatically, and also a light so we could see the turbine in action when it's dark outside. I think that's pretty cool. So the Waterdam, that's gonna get totally redesigned because the old dam was made up of a big wooden plate a bunch of heavy stones and a lot of dirt. And as a good guess, it leaked a lot. This time we're going to make the dam out of some proper concrete, even though I haven't really worked with concrete before. The new dam is going to have 3 features that the old dam didn't have. The first is going to be the ability to open and close the water supply electronically. Before I used a plate to cover the pipe opening manually with a piece of wood, and that's pretty boring compared to just pushing a button. The second feature is the ability to empty the whole dam, so in the future if you have to do any maintenance it would be much easier. And the last feature is to have the ability to release the excess water. If more water comes into the dam, then we can swallow with the turbine, because when the old dam was maxed, the water would usually go around or on the sides of the dam, making it dig out trenches around the dam and making it just bigger and much worse, and I will try to avoid that with our new concrete dam. When it comes to electrical controlling system, I'm thinking about using an Arduino Nano as our processing unit, and we're also going to need some sensors to monitor the temperatures and the water level, battery voltage and stuff like that. Remember when I talked about the LED indicators? Well, for the red indication, I want the power station to go in some sort of a emergency mode that I'm going to program into the microcontroller. That means if you have low battery voltage, the power station would prioritize its power to the microcontroller and other crucial parts, and that means the light bulbs in the tree won't work at that state, in order to give the batteries a chance to charge. I think we have the basics of the refurbishment in place, but if you guys have any suggestions to what I should add or something I should change, please let me know down in the comment section. In the next video we're going to begin building the turbine and also repairing the axle, so we can finally get started on this amazing project. So make sure to subscribe if you're interested for the videos to come, and thank you for watching.